Um, excuse me. Doggone it. Let's describe an imaginary situation in Minecraft. Let's say that you were to grab someone who happened to be walking down the street, and in Minecraft, and he had a dispute with someone he didn't like very much. We'll call him, for lack of a better name, Ron Patrick. He really had this serious dispute with Ron Patrick. Ron Patrick had been a complete dick and screwed this poor, innocent, working class raccoon in Minecraft out of his favorite trash cans. And so the raccoon was offended and said, damn you, Ron Patrick," and happened to stop the first animated creature walking down the street. We'll call that creature Peanut Butter. And so the raccoon says in Minecraft, "Hey, Peanut Butter, I got a problem with Ron Patrick over there." And Peanut Butter says, "Well, I'll be happy to help you out in exchange for a small fee. You don't mind paying me a small fee, do you? I guarantee that other than a small fee, raccoons don't need to pay anything. People have to pay for everything. You just pay your small fee, because we know that raccoons don't have a lot of money." So the raccoon, digs through a few trash cans, gets into a garage, manages to steal the necessary fee in Minecraft, and goes over to the big talking animated jar of peanut butter, whose name, let's say, is Jeff. He says, "Hey, Jeff, here's the money." And so the peanut butter jar named Jeff, because of course Jif is the king of peanut butters, and if you think otherwise, you're wrong. So Jeff says, hey Ron, this raccoon's got a problem with you. So I'm gonna settle this dispute. I'm just a random jar of peanut butter, but we're living in Robert Heinlein's libertarian fantasy in Minecraft. And so, we got to settle this problem. Now, it turns out that the peanut butter jar can't make the decision. See, even in Minecraft, there are laws. Even in Minecraft, there are rules. And so one of the rules in Minecraft is you have a certain period of time, let's say 10 hours, because we're in Minecraft real time. So you've got 10 hours to pay the corresponding fee. Ron has 10 hours once the raccoon, we'll say Ricky the raccoon, has paid the necessary fee to Jeff, the talking peanut butter jar. And so now Ron is supposed to pay his fee. Then they can get started, right? Well, here's the thing. Ron sees that Jeff is talking to Ricky, and he's like, "Hey, what's that raccoon? I know that raccoon. He doesn't like me very much. Why is he talking to this peanut butter jar?" And he comes running over. He's like, "What What are you doing talking to him? He's like, oh, well, he's got a complaint and I'm gonna settle it. And Ron just goes berserk. He flips out. He's kicking the jar and he's trying to break it and he's screaming at it and he's saying, you're a peanut butter jar. How can you settle a dispute? You don't have any right to settle a dispute. This is Minecraft. You can't settle a dispute in Minecraft with a peanut butter jar. And the peanut butter jar is like, dude, like Robert Heinlein came up with this idea. What are you talking about? And Ricky's over there going, knocking on the peanut butter jar saying, hey, can't we get this started? You told me this was going to be fast. And the peanut butter jar is like, can't you see I'm arguing with Ron? And Ron is just screaming and shrieking and claiming that the raccoon molested his wife and that the raccoon defecated in his garage. And he's just going on and on. This is a horrible raccoon. Terrible raccoon. He does terrible things. And so, meanwhile, the clock is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. The 10 hours are up. But nobody notices. Nobody pays any attention. Minecraft doesn't care. The raccoon has no idea what's going on. He's a raccoon. And the peanut butter jar and it's getting crazy at this point. Ron is trying to kick the peanut butter jar. The raccoon's biting Ron on the leg. It's just a mess. Meanwhile, the 10 hours pass by. And then another 10 hours pass by. And so, belatedly, Jeff, the peanut butter jar, goes, oh, hey, you were supposed to, Ron, you're supposed to pay this thing in 10 hours. You should probably pay it 10 hours from now. If you pay it 10 hours from now, it's good. It's all good. So this all goes on, and so then the raccoon starts making its case to the peanut butter. The peanut butter's like, hey, dude, we can get started now. Ron's on board. Stop biting his leg. Stop defecating in his garage. We're going to have a civilized conversation. Speak your pieces. So they're speaking their pieces. But then the raccoon goes, hey, in Minecraft, I thought I was supposed to win after, if they didn't do anything in 10 hours. I automatically won. So we're just starting this after 30 hours. So when did he pay? And so suddenly the peanut butter jar realizes that he kind of forgot to tell Ron at the beginning that he had 10 hours to pay. So when the raccoon asks him for the proof of this, he forges something and says, this was when he was supposed to pay it. And this is when he did pay it, and he's on time, and everything's fine. Okay. But the raccoon's suspicious. The raccoon's beginning to think that maybe this peanut butter is really a jar of Skippy. Maybe he's not the high quality Jif peanut butter that he thought he was. Maybe it's even that horrible stuff with the jelly in it. It's like horizontal. So anyhow, the raccoon says, okay, so could you send me copies of all the bills that you sent to Ron? And the peanut butter jar says, Smuckers, that was it. Okay, yeah, Yeah, go ahead. We'll send it to you. But it turns out that the jar had made a mistake when it finally sent the stuff out to Ron. Somehow, one of the bills accidentally went to the raccoon. It's just a garage that the raccoon happened to be messing around in. And so he finds this bill. And so he just happens to have it in his nest. You know, he's not thinking anything about it. But then when he gets the new set, supposedly the complete set, he looks at it and he goes, okay, so I got this one wrong by mistake, and I got this new one, and this new one is supposed to be the same as the previous one, but they're different. What the hell is this? And then it turns out that not that far away, somebody else had been having a dispute that the peanut butter jar, Jeff, was handling. And that's all done with. It's all over. And it was determined that, that they'd made it very clear, hey, this is Minecraft. In Minecraft, you got 10 hours. So whoever it was wrong. And so then they find out that all the bills that this other unrelated party paid all look like the original piece of paper, even though some of them came out at the same time as the new pieces of paper. So suddenly the raccoon goes, wait a minute, you screwed up. You screwed up, and you're trying to hide it. You're trying to hide the fact that I already won because you don't want to admit that you forgot to send the bills at the beginning when you're supposed to, as the law requires. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get 2 craters. So how is this going to play out? Well, somebody has to go to talk to Minecraft. And so, if you are one of the lucky bears, then I would simply encourage you to follow the lead of the lawyers. They'll give you instructions. Just roll with it. Everything's under control. They know exactly what they're doing. And, it's fine to ask them as many questions as you want. You can't ask questions of anybody who's not a lawyer. That means me, that means the bear, the big bear, etc., etc. But what we can tell you, what I can tell you, what he can tell you, what the cavalry can tell you, is that just go along with it. You're being summoned to the conflict, and it's worth it. And this is how we create 2 craters. At some point, it is possible that every single one of you, and I'm talking across the board, not just the bears, but the cavalry too, it's possible that if the other parties are really, really stupid and stubborn and want to experience maximum crater depth, that they could go all the way through it. I don't think that's likely to happen because, frankly, I think that the metaphorical peanut butter jar is considerably smarter and considerably more attuned to the concept of self-preservation. And I think that they are going to start taking steps to rectify the situation as quickly as possible once they realize that they've been busted. But they have been not just busted, but conclusively and comprehensively busted. And furthermore, once things go back to either our friend Mr. Schulman or our friend Mr. Alsup. I don't know which way the lawyers intend to go, but either way, I think is equally reasonable, equally favorable. And so, we'll see how many have to go. But if you are called, answer the call. It's not going to cost that much. And if you take the trouble to read the relevant laws, you'll understand why. So I would, like I said, if you do get the call, then I encourage you to ask whatever questions you want to ask. But once your questions are answered, just have faith, take the step, and know that all the bears, all the dread ilk, all the VFM are going to be behind you. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this bedtime story, and it's going to be very, very, very interesting. Well, we don't know what happened to Jeff, the talking jar of peanut butter. It really depends upon whether he's very, very sorry and very, very determined to do the right thing according to the rules of Minecraft. If that happens, the raccoon is fine with it. The raccoon doesn't give a damn about peanut butter. The raccoon is completely focused on the walking, talking evil that is Ron Patrick. I think that this is going to be a very interesting next few weeks here.